Hi, I'm Susan Weathersby.
And I'm Don Sullivan.
And this is the Interwar News. Our top story today regards the Treaty of Versailles. We have received reports that suggest that China is unsatisfied with the decisions to allow Japan to keep Chinese territories after the war. Representatives from China explained that their country's primary motivation for joining the war was to regain all lost territories that were occupied by German control. Because of their contribution to the war effort, the Chinese had expectations that the Allied powers would return all Chinese territories. As a result, China believes that the Treaty of Versailles portrays them as a weak nation. They are extremely concerned with how they are being perceived by the rest of the world. These actions have begun to spark a need for change among the Chinese people. We will have more on this as the story develops.
Breaking news. We have received reports that thousands of angry students are protesting throughout the country. Here is live video footage of active protesters rallying in the streets. To find out more, we now cut to senior correspondent Faye Garnier, who is interviewing a student in Beijing to investigate the causes of the sudden conflict.
Thanks, Don. I'm here with Shun Lan, who's here to provide insight on the current situation. Tell us, sir, why are you protesting?
We demand change. I refuse to live in a world where we are looked down upon. We are all fed up of living this way. They will listen. They will hear us.
Very interesting. So, what have you done to ensure that your voices get heard?
We are willing to do whatever it takes. Already thousands have rallied behind our cause. This is a movement that has already taken the country by storm. We already have organized large-scale strikes and protests to ensure that we make an impact. We will be heard. We will have change.
What are you calling this movement?
We are referring to it as the May 4th movement.
How original. Well, this has been an eventful morning. Back to you, Don.
We now take you to an exclusive interview between Professor Carl Elliott and senior correspondent Summer Robbins. Professor Elliott, it's a pleasure to see you here tonight.
Please, the pleasure is all mine.
So, Professor, can you tell us a little bit about why these revolts are happening, and maybe expand on what is causing the people to react so strongly?
Yes. Of course, what an excellent question. As we saw, the Treaty of Versailles showed the people here just how weak other nations perceived us. The government was supposed to represent them and stand for them, but instead has chosen to fall victim to the Westerners and their power. The deep-rooted nationalism of the people can be found in almost anyone. They are protesting for the sake of their country and out of pride for their country.
What do you think will be in store for protesters and for the country?
Great change is coming our way. Whether it is good or bad, no one can know. One can make guesses, but we may never know for sure. It is in all of our best interests to hope for the best.
Thank you, Professor. That's all the time we have for today. Back to you, Susan.
Thanks, Summer. As the professor said, we're all hoping for the best. Isn't that right, Don?
Yes, indeed. World War I left a devastating impression on the world.
That's all for today. Stay safe, world. I'm Susan Weathersby.
And I'm Don Sullivan.
And this is the Interwar News, signing off. Hi, I'm Susan Weathersby.
And I'm Don Sullivan.
And this is the Interwar News.
Our top story today is the formation of an uneasy partnership between the Communist Chinese Party and Kuomintang nationalists. This partnership exists for the mutual benefit of both sides to fight off against powerful warlords who controlled many areas of China.
A man named Jiang Jieshi has led these attacks on warlords and foreign imperialists. Jiang's actions have ensured that the Kuomintang now control a vast amount of China. While the Kuomintang nationalists have been backed with some support from the Chinese, it has become clear that communism has become a driving force that has tremendous influence on Chinese society. Many citizens have seen communism as a way to modernize and strengthen China as a whole. For those of you who have not been tuning in to our recent broadcast, the Communist Party of China was formed right before this partnership was established.
Overall, this partnership has been viewed as largely beneficial for both sides despite its unsteady foundation. The question is, how long will it last? These groups have many contradicting beliefs and differences. Because of this, we suspect that this partnership will only be temporary.
We now turn to our screen, where we have acquired an audio recording of a speech made by Jiang Jieshi that details his take on the partnership.
We stand today as one power, the Kuomintang nationalists and the Chinese communists. Together, we have worked to stop the corrupt warlords who have terrorized our great nation for too long. Today marks the day that together, we show the Westerners our true potential. We show them that we, the Kuomintang nationalists, stand tall before them. We are not some country that they can throw around. We are not going to stand for how they have been treating us. Stand up against your government and put your faith in us. Believe me when I say this is our time.
We anticipate that Jiang will soon turn on his communist allies in response to the growing communist influence in China. Kuomintang nationalists are pressuring Jiang to take action against the communists. If this happens, civil war is inevitable. We will report more on this story as it unfolds. That's all for today. Stay safe, world. I'm Susan Weathersby.
And I'm Don Sullivan.
And this is the Interwar News, signing off. Hi, I'm Susan Weathersby.
And I'm Don Sullivan.
And this is the Interwar News. Our top story today. Civil war has broken out throughout China. This conflict between the communists and the Kuomintang nationalists has left China in a state of chaos and turmoil.
Kuomintang nationalists have been pressuring Jiang to take military action against communists for some time. As we suspected, Jiang chose to betray his allies in an effort to eliminate all communist influence in China. This conflict arose after Jiang instructed his forces to attack the communists in several cities. These recent attacks were devastating. Witnesses report massive casualties. Many thousands have reportedly been injured or killed. These actions have marked the beginning of what is now known as the Chinese Civil War.
A number of communists that reportedly survived Jiang's initial attacks tried to rebuild their organization. Together, these survivors were unified under the leadership of a man named Mao Zedong. After experiencing military pressure from the Kuomintang nationalists, Zedong led a massive force of 100,000 communist supporters on a 6,000-mile trek through China. This has become known as the Long March. We believe that Zedong is leading this march so that his supporters can be protected in an area of land that is not under the Kuomintang jurisdiction. Communist supporters have stated that they intend to find a place of safety and security. Unfortunately, due to terrible conditions, only 8,000 of Zedong's followers have survived the Long March. Despite the overwhelming number of casualties, communist representatives have reassured us that they are recovering well and will one day be strong enough to fight back against Jieshi.
We predict that they will not be able to make any moves for some time. We will update you as this story progresses.
That's all for today. Stay safe, world. I'm Susan Weathersby.
And I'm Don Sullivan.
And this is the Interwar News, signing off.